Join in a while. Okay, so you arrange for vote of thanks and all. Okay, I will not be there. So you are in mute.
Sorry, Prabhu. Sorry.
Understood. Someone can do kirtan. Don't sit idly. Someone can start kirtan. Just go for it.
Hare Krishna. Anybody can do Kirtan just for 2 to 3 minutes. Hare Krishna.
May I do, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Idi Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pashyatyadeshatarini Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Very
Pranam,
nice
Swami.
Kirtan. Thank you so much, Mataji. I
Thank
could
you.
see Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prabhu. A brief introduction got you. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Today's Hare Krishna, everyone, Matajis and Prabhus. And today's speaker is His Divine Grace, Achyut Gopal Prabhu. He is very famous in preaching both offline and online. And today we are privileged to have his association once again in our forum. And thank you so much, Ashish Prabhu, for giving us such a wonderful opportunity and association of great devotees. Thank you so much. And Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, Prabhu. We thank you so much. And in spite of your busy schedule, you spared some of your time for us. Thank you so much. Welcome to you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So, Prabhuji was telling that today he will take us to the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, maybe Sannyas Leela. Is it, Prabhuji? Sannyas Leela, right?
Yeah, let's see. Let's do the verses today, and if there is time, we will definitely try to touch upon as much as we can.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for being with us again. So, you can start.
Okay. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutaha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamshta Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamshta Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So very happy to be here amidst all the wonderful devotees who are assembled here. This forum is called Inner Consciousness Forum. Inner Consciousness. So very happy to be in this group and very grateful to Ashish Prabhu for lovingly inviting me over here. And I'm very happy to see that I had mentioned this last time also that devotees are sincerely coming and attending these classes, trying to understand Bhagavatam, which is so very important for us to grow spiritually. So very inspired to see this group here. So today we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 15, description of the kingdom of God, verse number 26 to 30. Okay? So this chapter is basically the 4 Kumaras. They enter into Vaikuntha And what they see in Vaikuntha is described here. See, our scriptures are so detailed, right? Like in the Abrahamic religion. Sorry. Oh. Okay. Sorry. In the Abrahamic religion, you have this idea of kingdom of God, in the spiritual world, the kingdom of God. But there is no detailed mention of how the kingdom of God is. So this is description of the kingdom of God. If anyone wants to know how the kingdom of God is, there's description here. Just like now, if someone wants to relocate from one place to another, they first want to know how that place is. They want to hear about that place. So similarly, this detailed description is there so that we are inspired to actually go to that spiritual world. Just like Krishna says in the Gita, na tad bhasyate shuryo na shashanko na pavaka yad gatva na nivartante tad dham paramam mama. Lord Krishna in the Gita, he doesn't give too much description. He gives a little hint, but the detailed description is in the Bhagavatam, Brahma Samhita. So Krishna tells in the Gita, the spiritual world is a place where there is no sun, there is no moon, there is no electricity, but there is always light. Can you imagine? Earth without moon, sun and electricity. Earth is dark only, completely dark. But the spiritual world doesn't have all these three, but still there is light there. And Prabhupada writes in the purport there, this description should inspire us to go to the spiritual world to see what this place is. Similarly, here in this chapter, there's more detailed description of the kingdom of God, what all you can get to see there. Text 26. Tadvishwaguru adhikritam bhuvanaika vandyam divyam vichitra vibudhagra vimana shochi apu paramudam apurvam upetya yoga maya balena munayas tat ato vikuntam. Thus the great sages, okay, thank you. Thus the great sages Sanaka, Sanatan, Sanandan and Sanat Kumar, upon reaching the above mentioned Vaikuntha in the spiritual world, by dint of their mystic yoga performance, perceived unprecedented happiness. They found that the spiritual sky was illuminated by highly decorated airplanes piloted by the best of devotees of Vaikuntha and was predominated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But you want to ask something, Mataji? Your hand is raised.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. No, I had raised it for reading, Prabhuji. No issues.
You raised it for reading. Okay, so that's the way you all generally do it?
Whatever suits you, Prabhuji. It's fine.
Okay. I don't know what system you all follow. I'm sorry for that. Okay.
Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt. Generally, what we do, sloka is recited by the speaker, and after that, translation is recited by one audience. Purports are read by second audience. But the way you want to follow, Prabhuji, you can just do that.
Yeah. So, you all generally read the purport also?
Some points, Prabhuji, some points like.
Okay, so we can do that also, no issue. Anyway, I'll be explaining from the purport, but if I want to read the purport also, I have no issue. So whatever you suggest, Prabhuji. Should we follow your style?
No, Prabhuji, whatever suits you, because time is also there. So,
yeah, that's the only question.
So translation, we can read, and purport you can explain, Prabhuji.
Yeah, like no problem. Okay, so here in this verse, it is explained that the four Kumaras, Sanak, Sanatan, Sanandan, and Sanat Kumar, they reached Vaikuntha, right? And by the power of the mystic yoga performance, and they found great happiness there. So Prabhupada explains in the purport, right? So from the next verse, you all can read the translation, but we will not read the purport. I'll just explain the purport. Okay? So Prabhupada explains here, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you all can follow the purport along with me. You all can scroll to the screen also, no issue. So Prabhupada explains here, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is one without a second. He's above everyone. Therefore, he is called Vishwa Guru. So in this verse, so Prabhupada very systematically is explaining this particular verse. So Prabhupada chooses to speak first on the word Vishwa Guru. Vishwa Guru means the the master of the entire world. So we have different gurus, but Krishna is that Adi Guru, Vishwa Guru. So therefore, there is no one who's greater than him. Right? So in this verse, the next word that is used is Bhuvanaika Vandyam. Bhuvanaika Vandyam means he alone is worshipped in this entire universe, or he is alone worthy of worship. Bhuvanaika Vandyam, the only personality worthy of being worshipped in the three worlds. So the four Kumaras enter into this Vaikuntha, that Supreme Lord is worshipped. Bhuvanaika Vandyam. And when they reach there, they see that there are airplanes there. Did you ever imagine that Vaikuntha will have airplanes? We think that technology is advanced here, but in Vaikuntha there are airplanes. And the beauty is there is no air crash there. There is no report of air crash happening. Here in this world, they have airplane, but when the crash happens, it's so drastic, so, so scary basically. But in the spiritual world, there is no air crash. And it is explained that who is driving this first is the pilots decorated. Just like Pushpak Viman Ravan had beautiful airplanes flying across, right? And who's the pilot of these airplanes? The best of devotees. Like, can you imagine you go to an Indigo plane or a SpiceJet plane and you find the pilots with Tilak Kantimala? You'll feel very nice, na? Devotees are driving the plane. So that is spiritual world where everyone is a devotee. They are all devotees of the Lord. And here it is explained. So these airplanes are very beautiful, piloted by the best of devotees. And the speciality of Vaikuntha, this I'm all reading from the purports only. This all explained from the purports. You all can go to the purports. So Prabhupada explains here, the beauty of Vaikuntha is, it is predominated by the Supreme Person of Godhead. The best, all the devotees in Vaikuntha, everyone are devotees, Vishnu Dutas, but it is predominated by Krishna, Supreme Person of Godhead. So in this world, you may have different planets like Earth. Every country has there's someone who's predominating it, either a government or a prime minister or a president. In the spiritual world, who's the predominated personality, the one who's predominating everything, he is that Supreme Person of Godhead. And Prabhupada explains there are unlimited Vaikuntha planets. And in each one, a different form of Vishnu is there. In somewhere, the Lord is there as Madhusudan, Madhava, Narayana, Pradyumna. These are all different planets. So, the point is, the Prabhupada explains here, when the four Kumaras reached Vaikuntha, they found great bliss. You know why? Because the Vaikuntha is predominated by Krishna. That means, if we want to be actually happy in life, the only way we can actually be happy in life is when we allow God to predominate us. So we are not the predominators, we are supposed to be predominated by Krishna. So when we allow Krishna to be our master and we become servants, that is where we will experience bliss. So what is Vaikuntha atmosphere? Srila Prabhupada always wanted this entire world to be a Vaikuntha atmosphere. That's the vision of great devotees, to create a Vaikuntha atmosphere. And what is a Vaikuntha atmosphere? Vaikuntha literally means where there is no kunta, where there is no misery, there is only happiness. And what is the formula for happiness? The formula for happiness is very simple. When we accept that Krishna is my master, I am a servant of Krishna, you will be happy. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in one of his songs, he explains, my dear Lord, because I have surrendered unto you, all my miseries have gone away. Prabhupada often gives this example. There are two types of dogs. If you study the lives of dogs, there are two types of dogs. What are the two types of dogs? One is a pet dog and one is a stray dog. Okay? So what is the difference? So the difference is, you see, a stray dog is always scared because the stray dog doesn't know who's going to come and throw stones at him. The stray dog doesn't know, poor guy, he doesn't know where his food is going to be. He's always in stress, always worried, always fearful, right? But if you see pet dogs now, they're very confident. Very confident. They don't have any anxiety only. Because the master will take care. The master will give it food. The master bathes the pet dog. There is spas, saloons for the pet dog. This dog is like very happy pet dog. Because it has a master. So similarly, living entities are of two categories. One who has accepted Krishna as the master, devotees. and those who have not accepted Krishna as the master. And the words that are used is, the living entity who has accepted Krishna as the master is called Sanat. And one who doesn't have Krishna as the master is called Anath. So if you have Krishna as your master, so many of your problems are solved. You can actually experience shelter and be happy. But if you don't accept Krishna as your master, you'll be just kicked from one place to another. Like you have the stray dogs, na? Someone just throws stones, this dog runs from there, runs from there. This is what happens in this world. So as long as we don't take shelter of Krishna, we are going to be in misery. So the 4 Kumaras, they experienced bliss in Vaikuntha because as soon as they entered Vaikuntha, they could see that Krishna is being worshipped here. Just like when we go to a holy place, na, all of us have experienced, na? We have gone to Vrindavan, ya Jagannath Puri, Mayapur. As soon as you go to these places, you feel so happy, isn't it? As soon as you enter, even though there are problems, you feel so happy, you are transcendent. Why? Because in these places, all the people are devotees. And everything is centered around worship of Krishna. And that's what the spirituality, the land of India, the ethos of this land of India is this only, where you keep Krishna in the center. So in this way, the 4 Kumaras were really happy. So Srila Prabhupada also explains here the point that in Vaikuntha there is airplanes. So Prabhupada explains here, there is no scarcity in the spiritual world. What is available in this world is also available there, but in a much more better way. The standard is much more higher. So there is variety there also in the spiritual world. So there is no scarcity. So the lesson here for all of us is, when we accept Krishna as our master, there will not be any scarcity in our life. We don't have to worry that, all my material facilities will go away, this will go away, that will go away. No, Krishna will give you so much. Krishna will give us so many things. So we have to have faith in Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one time, he goes and asks Srivas Pandit. So the life of Srivas Pandit is very interesting. Srivas Pandit is in the house of Srivas Pandit, Mahaprabhu started the Sankirtan movement. Srivas Angan in Navadip. Srivas Pandit was a grahastha with a wife, with children. But Srivas Pandit opened his house for the spiritual Sankirtan movement of Mahaprabhu. The Srivas Angan, the house of Srivas, is actually the headquarters of the Sankirtan movement. So day and night, Srivas would just keep serving the Vaishnavas and the Lord. So Lord Chaitanya one time asked Srivas Pandit, Srivas, I don't see you working. I've never seen you go for a job. You're always doing bhakti, chanting Hare Krishna, preaching. I mean, where do you get money from? How does your family go on? So Srivas Pandit claps his hand 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So Mahaprabhu says, what is this? I'm asking you a question, please answer. Srivas Pandit again claps his hand 3 times. So sometimes devotees now are very transcendental. They give answers also in a very transcendental way. So Mahaprabhu says, what is the meaning of this? So Srivas Pandit says, my dear Lord, I have so much faith that if I do bhakti to you, whatever I need will come in my life. If it doesn't come, before I clap 3 times, I will enter into the Ganga and commit suicide. So that time Mahaprabhu says, my dear Srivas, you have surrendered unto me. Even if there is a day that comes in this world where Lakshmi will have to go begging, is it possible? Is it ever possible that Lakshmi will go begging? Mahaprabhu says, even if a day comes when Lakshmi goes begging, there will never be shortage in your house. Because you have given importance to the holy name. You have given importance to service to the Lord and the Vaishnavas. The last verse of the Gita, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Tatra Partha Dhanurdaraha, Tatra Shrir Vajayo Bhutir Dhruvanitir Matir Mama. So Sanjay says, this is the last verse of the Gita, wherever there is Krishna and wherever there is Arjuna, that means wherever there is Krishna and Vaishnavas, wherever there is service to Krishna and Vaishnavas, in that place there will be wealth, there will be prosperity, there will be morality, everything will be there. There will be success. So Srivas Pandit, what was the success formula? People in this world look for a success formula. The success formula was only one thing. He gave importance, priority to Krishna and the Vaishnavas. He kept that as his topmost priority. And rest everything followed in his life. Very often I give this example. In the Ramayana, you have the example of Ravan. Ravan was living where? Golden Lanka. Who wouldn't love this thing, na? House made of gold, everything made of gold, city made of gold. This was Ravan. He was living in Golden Lanka. But because he didn't choose Ram, he chose the things of this world over Ram. At the end of his life, Ravan, he didn't get Ram, but he lost Lanka also. But Ravan's younger brother Vibhishan left the Golden Lanka to take shelter of Ram. And what did Vibhishan get? Vibhishan got Ram also, and he got Lanka also. And in Mahabharata, you have Duryodhan. See, scriptures, na name changes, but history is the same. In Treta Yuga was Ravan, in Dwapar Yuga is Duryodhan. Mentality same. Name changes, but mentality same. Same Ravan mentality. So Duryodhan wanted Hastinapur, hook or crook. He applied so much intelligence of his, so much scheming, so much planning. But at the end, Duryodhan neither got Hastinapur nor got Krishna. He lost both. Failure in both levels. But the Pandavas, they were not attached to Hastinapur. They were attached to Krishna. But at the end, they got Krishna also, they got Hastinapur also. So the point is, when we surrender to Krishna, whatever is needed will come in life. Shraddha Shabde Vishwasa Kahe Shraddha Nishtai Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita Hai. This is the definition of Shraddha. Chaitanya Charitamrita gives. If you give prominence to Krishna and the Vaishnavas, the service to the Lord, service to Guru, whatever is needed will come. So therefore, Prabhupada says, in the spiritual world, there is no scarcity of things. Whatever you need will come in life. So here, again, going forward, Srila Prabhupada explains here. So till now, we saw the words in the verses. Prabhupada first explains Vishwa Guru, how Krishna is that master of the entire world. He's one without a second. Then how Krishna is Bhuvaneka Vandyam. He is the one who is to be worshipped throughout the entire world. Then Prabhupada explains the point of how in the spiritual world there are airplanes. And because there are airplanes, it is understood that in the spiritual world there is no scarcity of things. Then the next point Prabhupada explains is the Chatushkumars, they felt great happiness because they entered into a place where Krishna is worshipped as the most important person. And therefore we saw, if you want to be happy, we have to come to this mood of becoming a servant of God. Accepting that Krishna is my master. That is the formula to be happy. Connecting back with Krishna. So then going forward, Prabhupada explains, these Chatushkumars, through the power of mystic yoga, they reached the Vaikuntha planets. So generally people have concept of yoga. The understanding of yoga is Ashtanga yoga, right? But actually yoga process is meant for something higher. You have Ashta Siddhi. You have Ashtanga, 8 limbs of yoga. And there are 8 Siddhis of yoga. Anima, Lagima, Prapti. It means becoming smaller than the smaller, lighter than the lightest, like that. So the Chatushkumars were very powerful yogis. And by the yogic Shakti, they went into the spiritual world. They didn't have to sit in an airplane. They didn't have to buy tickets. They didn't have to get a passport, visa, nothing. Straight. They went to the spiritual world by the power of their yogic Shakti. So Prabhupada explains this is how powerful yogis were. And Prabhupada gives the example of Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni was such a powerful yogi. When he offended Ambarish and the Lord sent that Sudarshan Chakra to kill Durvasa, Durvasa ran all over the world. He entered into Vaikuntha also. And it is explained in Bhagavatam, Durvasa reached the spiritual world in 1 year. In 1 year, he reached the spiritual world. Actually, so Prabhupada explains there, even if you have to reach the topmost planet in the material world, it will take 40,000 years. But these yogis were so powerful, to the power of yoga system, they reached there. So basically Prabhupada ends this whole purport by explaining how the present standard of scientific advancement is actually nothing compared to the yogic powers that the yogis had before. They were like really, really powerful personalities. Like if you go to Kumbh Mela, anytime you have visited Kumbh Mela, you'll find personalities, yogis who have been living for 400 years. Just by controlling their breathing power, they get great Shaktis. Even in today's world, you can see such personalities. They can control their heartbeat, all these things happen through the power of yoga. So Prabhupada explains here finally that the spiritual world is actually filled with happiness because yoga maya balena vikuntam, because it is an possible by the expansion and influence of Yoga Maya, internal potency. So the spiritual world, the difference between the spiritual world and material world is, the material world is ruled by Mahamaya, Durga Devi. And the spiritual world is ruled by Yoga Maya, ya Srimati Radharani. Radharani is the Ladini Shakti of the Lord. Ladini means one who gives pleasure, the pleasure potency. So because the pleasure potency rules that place, therefore, just by entering the spiritual world, one can find great bliss. And the Chatush Kumaras, in one sense, they are Brahmavadis. Brahmavadis matlab Brahman realized. So we will find in this chapter ahead, in the verses ahead. So this chapter is also very important because it is in this chapter, this particular incident, where the 4 Kumaras become converted into Vaishnavas. They were Brahmavadis, they were more or less impersonalists. But as soon as they enter into the spiritual world, the vibrations of the spiritual world, the atmosphere of the spiritual world was so charged with devotion that their hearts were completely transformed. And in the Bhagavatam first canto, you have the example of Shukadeva Goswami, who was also a liberated soul, Brahmavadi. And he left his house completely detached. As soon as he was born, he just left and went away. But when Shukadeva Goswami heard Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami was so attracted, he came back to his house which he had left only to hear Bhagavatam. So the point is, what is the spiritual world and what is this internal potency? If you want to experience the spiritual world, if you want to experience an internal potency, everything is possible when we come in association of devotees, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and hear Krishna Katha. This is what the spiritual world is. That's all. So real spiritual world is experienced only in this. Right? If you want to experience that real happiness, this is what we have to experience. Parikshit Maharaj, actually in the Bhagavatam, he explains the chapter where Sudamaji's pastime is there. So Parikshit tells Shukadeva Goswami, people in this world run around and do so many things to be happy. Right? Spend so much money to be happy. And Parikshit Maharaj says happiness is very simple. Just sit in one place in the association of devotees and hear Krishna Katha, you'll automatically experience great bliss. We will go to the next verse, text 27. Tasmin atitya munaya sad asajamana kaksha samana vayasa at saptamayam deva achakshata grihita gado parardhya keyura kundala kirita vitanka veso. Anyone would like to read translation?
Yes, I will call out Prabhuji.
Yes,
Shilpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna
You can
Prabhu,
read the
Dandavat Pranam. After passing through the 6 entrances of Vaikuntha Puri, the Lord's residence, without feeling astonishment at all the decorations, they saw at the 7th gate 2 shining beings of the same age, armed with maces and adorned with most valuable jewelry, earrings, diamonds, helmets, garments, etc. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. So, anyone, I think let's follow your system. I think I should respect that. So, some devotees can read the purport also.
Yes, Prabhu. Prashanti Mataji, you can read the purport.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The sages were so eager to see the Lord within Vaikuntha Puri that they did not care to see the transcendental decorations of the 6 gates, which they passed by one after another. But at the 7th door, they found 2 doormen of the same age. The significance of the doormen being of the same age is that in the Vaikuntha planets, there is no old age, so one cannot distinguish who is older than whom. The inhabitants of Vaikuntha are decorated like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, with Shankha, Chakra, Gada, and Padma, conch, wheel, club, and lotus. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
So this is a very beautiful verse. This explains that the 4 Kumaras, they enter into, as they enter into Vaikuntha, they just cross the 6 gates and they reach the 7th gate. And at the 7th gate, they see 2 doormen, Jai Vijay, 4-armed, almost like Vishnu, the same form of Vishnu, with Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. So Prabhupada explains in the purport, see, Vaikuntha is a mesmerizing place. the beauty of this world. I mean, you go to any city, great city, New York or any of the cities, you just want to see around everything. But the 4 Kumaras have entered into Vaikuntha, but they were so eager to see the Lord, they didn't care to see any of the decorations. They just walked through one door after another, just eager to meet the Lord. So in spiritual life now, this eagerness is something that is so important. Srila Rupa Goswami explains, Lolyam ekam mulyam. The only currency needed to purchase the Lord is eagerness. One has to be very eager to see the Lord. Only through this eagerness we can see. As I was telling Ashish Bro, if there's time, we'll speak something about Chaitanya Leela, Sannyas Leela. But I don't know how much time we have. But I'll explain something brief here. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, yesterday on the day of Makar Sankranti, and after he took sannyas, Mahaprabhu is going towards Vrindavan. He's just running towards Vrindavan. Speaking about eagerness, Mahaprabhu was so eager to go to Vrindavan. He was just running like mad. And finally, when the mother of Mahaprabhu tells him, please come to Jagannath Puri, and Mahaprabhu reaches Jagannath Puri, as soon as he is near the outskirts of Jagannath Puri, Mahaprabhu runs in full speed to have darshan of Jagannath. That was his eagerness. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after sannyas, he is going towards Vrindavan, he comes to a place called Fulia, which is still there close to Navadip, Mayapur. So what happens is, when Lord Chaitanya was a Grahastha, as Nimai Pandit in Navadip, so many people took him for granted. They thought that, ye hamara hi aadmi hai, hamare gaon ka aadmi hai. People didn't value him. Many people started to criticize him. Many people started to blaspheme him. So as soon as the Lord took sannyas and this news reached the residents of Navadip that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken sannyas in Katwa and now he's going to Vrindavan, all the Navadipasis fell. We mistook him. We thought that he's an ordinary person. He's actually a great soul. He's taken sannyas. So they all wanted to have his final darshan. Because if a sannyasi leaves house and goes, if he leaves his village and goes, in most probability he doesn't come back. So the Navadipasis knew this is a last chance to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when they came to know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in Fulia, lakhs of people ran from Navadip to go and see Mahaprabhu in Fulia. And to reach Fulia, you have to cross the Ganga. And it is explained that there were few boats, 10, 12 boats. And how many people? Lakhs of people. How are you going to go in for few boats? Capacity of each boat was 10 to 12. 100, 200 people got on the boat. The boat drowned. The boat just sank. But people were so eager to see the Lord, they somehow swam. Those who didn't know swimming, they learned swimming that day. Or those who didn't learn it, they just caught hold of a matka, they caught hold of anything, and they just reached there. They were so desperate. So, just like these devotees, to actually go and meet the Lord, there are different obstacles that we need to overcome. There are so many obstacles in life. We have so many excuses and so many reasons not to do it. But there is one thing that can help us overcome all obstacles, and that is eagerness. If you have that kind of eagerness, any and every obstacle can be overcome. Kunti Maharani in her prayers, Bhagavatam first canto, you might have read that. Kunti Maharani says, my dear Lord, let my mind run towards you like Ganga runs towards the ocean. If you've seen Ganga, Ganga runs at great speed and nothing can stop Ganga. Whatever comes, Ganga knows how to go because she's focused. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana. She is decided, I have to reach this. So when we are that eager to meet the Lord, then no obstacle can stop us. Raghunath Das Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's very intimate associate. So Raghunath Das Goswami, he had everything in his life. He had wealth, he had a beautiful wife, he had everything practically. But Raghunath was focused that I want to achieve Lord Chaitanya. And there were so many obstacles in his way. So many times he tried to run away. His parents caught him. There were like 10 guards who were continuously watching him. So one time, Raghunath Das's mother told Raghunath Das's father, Hiranya Majumdar, that let us tie our son with chains. Let us tie him with ropes. Because this fellow runs away, let us tie him. So Raghunath Das Goswami's father tells his mother, if wealth like Indra couldn't tie this person, if a beautiful wife like an Apsara couldn't tie this person, what will ropes tie him? Anyone who has become mad for Lord Chaitanya, no one can tie such a person. This fellow will break everything and go away. So similarly, there are many obstacles that tie us down. But if you have that eagerness, we can just pass through everything and go. So we have to learn from this example of the four Kumaras. They were so eager that they didn't bother to see anything else. They were just focused on seeing Vishnu. And when they reached the seventh door, they saw Jai and Vijay, right? And it is explained here who are of the same age. Same age, matlab, Prabhupada explains here, because in Vaikuntha, no one becomes old. So everyone looks same only. Like in ISKCON now, when you initially come to ISKCON, all brahmacharis look same only. I remember my initial days when I used to go to Radha Gopinath temple, Bombay, long back. I used to look at most brahmacharis, I would feel, everyone looks same only. Abhi kaun kya hai, samajh mein nahi aata. Because everyone is same color, same thing. Similar experience the four Kumaras had. All the Vaikuntha Vasis are of the same age. Because no one gets old. There is no age only there. Right? And everyone looks also the same. Imagine Aadhaar card of all the Vaikuntha Vasis. Everyone look exactly same. Same form. Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. Same. So you see here, there's another very important lesson that the Lord is teaching here. So the Lord is very broad-minded. So generally, when we have something special, we don't want to share it with others. But the Lord is giving His form to His devotees. Lord is saying, you also accept my form only. Right? So the Lord is not insecure. In this world, we don't want anyone else to be like us, do like us. We become very insecure. But the Lord is not insecure. So these four Kumaras reach Vaikuntha, the seventh gate, and they see Jai and Vijay beautifully decorated with maces, jewelry, earrings, diamonds, helmets, and in their four hands there is Shankha Chakra Gadapad. Okay. We'll go to text 28. Matta Dvirepa Vanamalikaya Nivito Vinyastaya Yashita Chatustaya Bahu Madde Vaktram Ruva Kutilaya Sputa Nigamabhyam Ratte Kshanena Chamanagrashabam Dadano. Yes.
Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The two doormen were garlanded with fresh flowers which attracted intoxicated bees and which were placed around their necks and between their four blue arms. From their arched eyebrows, discontented nostrils and reddish eyes, they appeared somewhat agitated. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Shall we ask somebody else to read the purport, Prabhu?
Yes.
Divya Mataji.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The garlands attracted swarms of bees because they were garlands of flesh flowers. In the Vaikuntha world, everything is fresh, new and transcendental. The inhabitants of Vaikuntha have bodies of bluish color and four hands like Narayana. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. So it is explained that the four Kumaras observe the doormen, Jai and Vijay. So they are decorated with garland made of fresh flowers. And the flowers are so fragrant, so fresh that they were intoxicated bees going around the garlands. So Prabhupada explains here that in the spiritual world, everything is fresh. No plastic there. Right? In this world, sometimes people, even to Krishna, they offer a plastic garland so that they don't have to go and keep changing every day. कौन इतना झंझट लेगा भगवान का फूल माला चेंज करने का? एक बार हार पहना दो प्लास्टिक का, 3 साल बाद देखेंगे, we'll see after 3 years, right? We'll change it. So people want shortcuts, people want plastic, people want artificial things. Spiritual world, everything is natural. Flowers are natural, devotees are natural. In this world, everything is artificial, everything is made up. So Krishna is a very natural person. The Lord likes fresh and natural things. So therefore, to offer fresh things to the Lord is very, very important. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti uparatam ashnami prayatatmana. So Krishna chooses these things: flower, fruit, leaf, water. Because when you offer these things, it's not costly to offer this. But what Krishna wants is that we keep going to him regularly to keep offering these things. So Krishna wants fresh offerings. Fresh offerings. So in the spiritual world, Prabhupada explains the characteristic of the spiritual world is we saw one characteristic, that Lord is the predominated person, he's the most important person. Everyone there is devotees. We saw there are airplanes there, right? There is all variety there, and everything there is fresh, new, and transcendental. Nava yovanam cha. There is nothing old. In the material world, the rule is everything becomes stale in some time. सब कुछ फीका होने लगता है, right? Just like you buy a new phone, a very costly phone. That phone will give you happiness only on first day, second day, and as time passes, gradually the happiness that the phone gives you will reduce. Similarly, in a relationship, right? Boy girl coming together, all this, it's very romantic in the beginning, but as time passes, you get used to it, it becomes boring, you want a change. But in the spiritual world, in Krishna consciousness, everything is new. We don't change Mahamantra. It is not that Mahamantra has changed. 2023, we chanted that Mahamantra. Let us change the Mahamantra. At least let us do some changes, up and down, change some words. No need. 2023 also same Mahamantra. 2024 also same Mahamantra. Every century, everywhere, it's going to be the same Mahamantra. It doesn't have to change. Because this is the names of God. This is spiritual. The same names you keep chanting, you'll find more and more bliss. Like if you find a Bollywood, Hollywood song, your favorite song, how long can you sing that song? Can you sing that song every day throughout your life? You'll get frustrated with it. Can you see that same movie throughout your life? You'll get frustrated with it. But the same holy name, the same katha, you can keep hearing again and again. In fact, the 18th chapter of Gita, Sanjay, after he has heard this Gita, he's so much in bliss. Sanjay is saying, Dhritarashtra, the more I hear, the more I think about Gita, the more I chant, the more bliss I find. So it's in the spiritual world, everything is fresh and new. Anandham buddhi vardhanam. It is explained. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shikshashtakam explains the holy name is Anandham buddhi vardhanam. Ambudhi means ocean. Anandham buddhi means ocean of bliss. In this world, there is no ocean of bliss, there's ocean of misery. But spiritual world is ocean of bliss. But what kind of bliss? What kind of ocean? Anandam buddhi vardhanam. Ocean of bliss which is ever increasing. We don't have any experience of ocean of bliss. We don't have any experience of ocean increasing. In this world, however much it rains, the ocean is always steady. The ocean never crosses boundaries. But the spiritual world, the happiness that comes in the spiritual world by the process of Krishna consciousness keeps increasing more and more. There is more and more increase. Swadu, swadu, pade, pade. So that is the beauty of the spiritual world. Beauty of Krishna consciousness, the beauty of Krishna Katha. So again, it is explained here, all these, the two doorkeepers, Jai and Vijay, they had 4 arms, beautiful neck, beautiful garland, and they had blue color body, exactly like Narayan. But something contrast. So till now, everything was good. I mean, everything beautiful, Vaikuntha is beautiful, the Vaikuntha Vasis are beautiful, fresh flowers, everything beautiful, decorated well. But the 4 Kumaras see the eyes of Jai and Vijay, because eyes give a lot of information, right? You can decode a lot of things just by eyes, seeing the eyes. They see that the eyes have become reddish, the eyebrows are arched, as if they are upset, agitated, and angry. So this, the 4 Kumaras couldn't understand. Vaikuntha is a place where no one should be angry. No one should get agitated, right? Because these are the nature of the material world. Kunta, misery, and anxiety, and agitation, and anger, qualities of Rajagun, Tamogun. How can there be in Vaikuntha, which is beyond the 3 guns? So the 4 Kumaras couldn't understand, how can this be? Vaikuntha Vasis, but agitated, completely out of context. So what happens next is explained in the next verse, text 29. द्वारी एतयोर निविशिशुर मिसतोर अपृष्ट्वा पूर्वायता पुरत वज्र कपातिकाया सर्वत्र विषमया मुनय स्वदृष्ट्या ये संचारयन्ति अविहता विगता विशंका. Yes.
Yes, Anta Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Anita Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes,
Yes.
yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The great sages headed by Sanaka had opened doors everywhere. They had no idea of ours and theirs. With open mind, they entered the seventh door out of their own will, just as they had passed through the 6 other doors, which were made of gold and diamonds. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Someone can read the purport.
Vasudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandavat Pranam. Purport Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The great sages, namely Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumara, although very old in years, maintained themselves eternally as small children. They were not at all duplicitous, and they entered the doors exactly as little children enter places without any idea of what is to trespass. That is a child's nature. A child can enter any place and no one checks him. Indeed, a child is generally welcome in his attempts to go places, but if it so happens that a child is checked from entering a door, he naturally becomes very sorry and angry. That is the nature of a child. In this case, the same thing happened. The childlike saintly personalities entered all the 6 doors of the palace and no one checked them. Therefore, when they attempted to enter the 7th door and were forbidden by the doormen who checked them with their sticks, they naturally became very angry and sorrowful. An ordinary child would cry, but because these were not ordinary children, they immediately made preparations to punish the doorman, for the doorman had committed a great offense. Even to this day, a saintly person is never checked from entering anyone's door in India. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So here it is explained that the 4 Kumaras headed by Sanaka, they opened 6 doors. 7 doors are there to Vaikuntha. So they opened 6 doors and just walked through. No one stopped them. Right? Because they are innocent children. They had no idea of ours and theirs. Right? The first verse of the Gita, Dhritarashtra Vacha, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yuyutsavaha, Mamaka Pandavaschaiva, Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. So Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjay, my dear Sanjay, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in Kurukshetra, what did they do? So the start of the material world means a place of problems, a place of fights, a place of disagreements. It all starts with ours and theirs. Mamaka Pandavaschaiva. This is mine and this is theirs. Ultimately, whose it is? Everything is Krishna's. We claim this is mine, this is yours. Whose it is? Right? Like two people fight on a train for a seat. This is my seat, your seat. Both of them come. The station comes. Both of them get down, continue to fight, and the train has gone. The seat has gone. The seat is neither yours nor his. The seat is the government's. Similarly, we claim this is mine, this is yours. With boundaries, we make all these boundaries, but ultimately everything is Krishna's. So the 4 Kumaras were great souls. They knew everything is Krishna. Everything is Krishna. So who can stop? We are all children of Krishna. So they just entered 6 doors very innocently with open minds. But at the 7th door, they were checked as they passed through the seventh door, right? They were checked at that point. Right? So we will see that in the next verse. So Prabhupada explains a very beautiful purport. So Prabhupada explains, actually these four Kumaras were the oldest, the first children of Brahma. I mean, they are the oldest. Even Lord Shiva is younger to the four Kumaras. In fact, Lord Shiva comes because of the four Kumaras. When the four Kumaras were born, I think this will come in the next. I think it's already over in the third canto, the creation part. So basically, the story is like this: that when the four Kumaras were created by Lord Brahma, he told them, "Please marry." The four Kumaras said, "No, we will not marry." And Brahma became very angry, and because of that anger, Lord Shiva comes, Rudra, right? And Lord Shiva, continues the progeny like that. So the four Kumaras chose to remain children because children now are very blissful. When people become elderly now, bliss goes away, happiness goes away, right? You see small children. Now sometimes I love to spend time with children. You can learn so much from children. It is explained that children are the father of mankind actually, right? You can learn so much from the children. Children, you see them always smiling, always happy, and sometimes they cry also. Like here, the four Kumaras are crying, but when after they cry, but they forget that crying also. Again, they become happy. Right? They don't carry grudges. You find children now, you may scold them, they'll cry, but after 10 minutes, they'll go to the same mother and father. Right? They don't have this revenge mentality. I'll never go. It's not like that. They're very innocent. And the child, is always very eager. Everything is new. Speaking about newness now in the previous verse. So you're a child now, child sees everything with so much newness. A flower, a leaf, child is so excited about every small thing. But as we grow, everything becomes okay for us. We take granted everything. A flower is no more interesting to us, right? Our mobiles are more interesting. A flower is not interesting to us. We'll put screensaver a flower, but we will not actually appreciate a real flower. We don't have time to see the sky. We don't have time to see so many things. So there is so much to learn from a child. Therefore, scriptures always recommend us to be childlike. We don't have to be childish. Childish is different, foolish. But we have to be childlike. That innocence of the child should actually remain. And child, Prabhupada explains here, a child has no duplicity. Simple. As adults, there is a lot of duplicity that comes. What is duplicity? Duplicity means double role. You show something else, you mean something else. You look at someone, you smile, but actually you hate that guy. I mean, it's so complex. Adults' minds are so complex. Krishna, as I told you, is a natural person. He doesn't like complex people. He absolutely hates complex people. Simple people is what Krishna loves. Why does Krishna love the Vrajavasis? Because the Vrajavasis are simple. They have no wealth, nothing. But Krishna really loves them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's very close associate was Sridhar Kolavecha. Sridhar Kolavecha was so simple. He had nothing in his house, right? Hardly anything. But he never complained. He was always happy, always satisfied, always grateful. Mahaprabhu loved him so much. In fact, before Mahaprabhu takes sannyas, the final dish that Mahaprabhu had was a bottle gourd sabji that Sridhar had got from his house. Loki sabji. So Mahaprabhu told his mother to make kheer out of it because Mahaprabhu had so much love for Sridhar Kolavecha. So Mahaprabhu likes people who are simple. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada, he would say Vaishnava means saralata. Saralata means simple, not duplicitous. Very simple, very straightforward. What he has in his heart, he will just express it. Right? So these childlike personalities, the four Kumaras, Prabhupada explains here, a child nature, child can just walk anywhere and no one stops the child. Right? Like, just a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I was in an airport. A child suddenly entered into a place where the child should not enter. People should not enter. But the security people didn't scold the child because it's a child. What do you do? Child doesn't know and understand all these things. So the child is never checked from entering. On the other hand, the child is actually welcomed. A child comes to a place, everyone becomes very happy. But the first time in their life, the four Kumaras were stopped from entering. And as I told you, a child is very innocent. A child, when it is angry, it will show in the face, right in the face it is angry, and it will cry. So the four Kumaras, they were happy entering into Vaikuntha, and suddenly they become very angry because they were childlike. And because they were not ordinary children, they didn't just cry, but they decided to punish these two personalities. Right? So we saw the lessons here is first is to become childlike, to become innocent, to become simple-hearted, right? And develop all these qualities. And then Prabhupada concludes this purport with a very important sentence. Even to this day, a saintly person is never checked from entering anyone's door in India. I don't know how true this is now, but actually previously this was India. India means this is the culture. Sanskriti. So one of our devotees was explaining, in India, the language of India is Sanskrit. And Sanskrit is very much connected to Sanskriti. So this devotee was explaining a very beautiful point. When Sanskrit becomes an optional language, Sanskriti also becomes optional in people's lives. People lose touch with their own culture. You can make a language optional, but if culture becomes optional, then there is nothing left. So the ethos of this land of India is respect to saintly people. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas because of this. Mahaprabhu took sannyas because of this same point. Mahaprabhu as a grihastha, he was preaching, but some people were disrespecting him. So Mahaprabhu thought, let me become a sannyasi. Because in this land of India, at least 500 years ago, sannyasis were respected. And Mahaprabhu's formula did work. As soon as he took sannyas, the people who were offending him actually came to fall at his feet and ask forgiveness. So Prabhupada says that in India, the culture of India is where a sadhu is respected, never checked from entering anyone's door. There is no check for sadhus. Krishna's Dwarka, when Krishna was in Dwarka, Krishna's rule in Dwarka was no Brahmanas will be checked. So when Sudamaji enters into Dwarka, it is explained that Sudamaji enters with many Brahmanas. None of them were checked in the doors. No one checked them. In fact, Sudama enters into Krishna's palace straight. No one checked Sudama. So this is Krishna's Dwarka. India is on the verge of creating a lot of smart cities, na? Smart cities everywhere. But what is real smart city? We have to learn from scriptures. A real smart city is where sadhus are welcome. That is where smart city is. That is where actual, fortune will come to this land and to everyone's house. In fact, when a sadhu comes, people actually become happy. They welcome such a person and give him charity like that. So this is the culture of India basically. And we find even in Ayodhya, these days there's a lot of talk of Ayodhya going around. So we can't end today's talk without speaking about Ayodhya. So in Ayodhya, the principle of Ayodhya also was the same, that saintly people were welcome. When Vishwamitra Muni comes to the palace of Dasharath Maharaj to ask for Lord Ram, Vishwamitra Muni, it is explained in Ramayana, he just stormed into the palace. And no doorkeeper could stop him. They just allowed entry and he went straight to the king. Right? This was how it was. When Lord Ram was winding up his pastime, Lord Brahma sent a messenger, Kala in the form of a messenger, in the form of a Brahmana, to give a message to Lord Ram. This messenger went straight to meet Lord Ram and no one stopped this messenger. So this is culture where sadhus and saints are respected. And as long as this is there, India will remain truly India. It will remain Bharat Varsha. And that Sanskriti will remain. Once the Sanskriti goes away, then India is as good as any other country. There is nothing great in this land. So the only thing great in this land is culture. And culture means respecting sadhus. So in this land, great Raja Rishis, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Lord Ram, and all these great personalities, Yudhishthir, Parikshit, they all had great respect for sadhus. When sadhus would come, they would bow their head in front of their feet. Right? So this is the actual mood of this great land of India. So we'll read text 30, the last verse for today. Tan vikshavata rashanam chatura kumaran vriddhan dasharda vayaso viditatma tattvan vetrena chaskalayatam atad arhanamsto tejo vihasya bhagavat pratikula shilo.
Janaki Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam. A translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The four boy sages who had nothing to cover their bodies but the atmosphere looked only 5 years old, even though they were the oldest of all living creatures and had realized the truth of the self. But when the porters, who happened to possess a disposition quite unpalatable to the Lord, saw the sages, they blocked Hare Krishna. They blocked their way with their staffs, despising their glories, although the sages did not deserve such treatment at their hands. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Krishnamurti Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Purport by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. The four sages were the firstborn sons of Brahma. Therefore, all other living entities, including Lord Shiva, are born later and are therefore younger than the four Kumaras. Although they looked like 5-year-old boys and traveled naked, the Kumaras were older than all other living creatures and had realized the truth of the self. Such saints were not to be forbidden to enter the kingdom of Vaikuntha, but by chance the doormen objected to their entrance. This was not fitting. The Lord is always anxious to serve sages like the Kumaras, but in spite of knowing this fact, the doormen astonishingly and outrageously prohibited them from entering. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So here it is explained, the four Kumaras as young children were covered only by the atmosphere. See, Sanskrit is also speaking about Sanskriti. Sanskrit is a beautiful language. You don't say naked, you say covered in 10 directions. So that means naked, basically. That's what it means. Right? So there is culture even in saying this. Right? Sanskriti. So nothing was covering their body except the atmosphere. Young children, they can just go naked, no one tells anything. But these, so it is explained here, they were the firstborn sons of Brahma. So even though they were looking like 5-year-old children completely naked going around, but they were actually the most self-realized souls, great souls. So, a very important lesson here, which actually is in one sense the essence of the chapter also. You can't judge a great personality by what you see. You can never judge. How they look, you can never judge. So if we start to judge great personalities by how they look, probably this person is a pure devotee. Probably this person is a fallen devotee. How can you judge? Our eyes are defective, our vision, our mind, everything is defective. So you can never judge great personalities like this. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, you have the story, na? You might have heard the story. You'll have heard the story of Gadadhar Pandit and Pundarik Vidyanidhi. You'll have heard the story. So one time, Mukunda comes and tells Gadadhar Pandit in Navdeep, a very great Vaishnava has come to Navdeep. Come, I'll show you. So Gadadhar Pandit na, from his childhood, he is like the most intimate friend of Mahaprabhu. They were like classmates right from the beginning, from their childhood. So one of the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Gadadhara Prananath. Gadadhar's life and soul, Mahaprabhu, never separated. So even after Mahaprabhu takes sannyas, Gadadhar Pandit also comes to Jagannath Puri. Very close. So one time, and Gadadhar Pandit from his childhood, he was a brahmachari, a sannyasi, completely renounced. So when Gadadhar Pandit hears from Mukunda, I'm going to see a great Vaishnava, he becomes very happy. And Mukunda brings in Gadadhar to Pundarik Vidyanidhi. And Pundarik Vidyanidhi is sitting on a royal throne made of silk, wearing silk, costliest silk dress, all over his body, costly gold and jewelry, right? Filled from head to toe, completely filled with jewelry. Two people are doing chamar morpunk, and Pundarik Vidyanidhi is chewing pan. And there is one guy who's holding a patra so that he can spit that pan. And he's sitting on silken pillows and all this. Gadadhar Pandit is thinking, what to speak of great Vaishnava? Is this a Vaishnava? Because Gadadhar had a different understanding of who a Vaishnava is. Vaishnava means she'll be renowned, she'll be simple, Saralata, simple, like Sridhar Kholavecha. Who is this? Gadadhar couldn't understand. So he started to do mentally started to judge, make mental offenses. So Mukunda could understand what is going on in Gadadhar's mind. So Mukunda started to chant verses of Bhagavatam. And he particularly came to that one verse where Uddhav is telling Vidura about how Lord Krishna is so great. Krishna is so dayalu that Krishna made Putana, the Putana who came to kill Krishna, Krishna made Putana the mother in the spiritual world, the Dhatri in the spiritual world. Because Krishna was saying, at least she's come to feed me, even though it is poison, at least she's come to feed me like a mother. So Krishna was seeing the positive part. So when Pundarik Vidyanidhi hears this about Krishna, Pundarik Vidyanidhi's body is filled with Ashtasattvika Vikar, filled with spiritual emotions. He just can't control it. He starts to tear his clothes. He starts to throw his ornaments away. He starts to throw that pots away, breaks everything. And he is in such a state of divine madness. It took 10 people to catch Pundarik Vidyanidhi and still they couldn't control him. That was the emotion that he had. And finally he went unconscious. After quite some time, he came back to consciousness. So Gadadhar Pandit understands, I've made a great offense. I judged Pundarik Vidyanidhi by my material vision. So a devotee should never judge by material vision. You can never judge how a devotee looks, right? So therefore, having respect and appreciating their realizations. So you can experience a devotee only when he starts to speak. So therefore, in Guru Seva, there is Vapu Seva and Vani Seva. Service to the physical form of Guru and service to the instructions of Guru. So more important than Vapu Seva is the Vani Seva. You can actually realize who that spiritual person is only when he speaks. Only when he speaks, you'll understand what is maturity is, and what his realizations are. So the Jai and Vijay, they thought that 5-year-old children, naked children, what is their role in Vaikuntha? Right? They thought like this. So Jai and Vijay were thinking, at least you wear dress and come. At least there's dress code to enter Vaikuntha. Do you enter Vaikuntha like this? So they stopped them. No, don't get into it. They blocked them with their staffs. So it is explained here. So this was quite unpalatable to the Lord. Such saints were not forbidden to enter into Vaikuntha, but by chance the doorman objected their entrance. This was not fitting. And the last sentence, which we will meditate for some time. The Lord is always anxious to serve sages like Kumaras. But in spite of knowing this fact, the doorman astonishingly and outrageously prohibited them from entering. This sentence is very important. The Lord is anxious to serve sages. So we need to understand the mood of the Lord, the mood of Vaikuntha. The Lord is eager to serve the sages. In Krishna Lila, when Sudamaji comes to Dwarka, and imagine Krishna's Dwarka is so opulent. I mean, Krishna has 16,000 opulent palaces. Krishna is Dwarkadish. He's the most important person there. And the Sudama is coming. Sudama is in tattered clothes, dust everywhere, thin, you can see bones of Sudama. But the Lord is so eager. So Krishna comes running outside. He makes Sudama sit on his bedstead. And Lord Krishna sits at the feet of Sudama and washes the feet of Sudama. Even though there are so many servants, it's not that there were no servants there. He could have told anyone, wash the feet of Sudama. Krishna does it personally. Krishna does Aarti to Sudama personally. Krishna feeds Sudama personally. So this is how eager the Lord is to serve the devotees. The Lord is showing by his example. And in the Rajasuya Yajna, you all know, you just did this Rajasuya Yajna, where, it's a big Yajna, kings from all over the world would come, saints and demigods from all across would come. So there was a lot of planning, lot of departments made. So everyone was given a certain department according to what their liking is. What was Bhima's department? Bhima took care of kitchen because Bhima liked to eat and liked to cook food also. So, someone who doesn't like to eat, you give him kitchen department, now he will make only khichdi. Right? So who can be in charge of kitchen? One who loves to eat. He only can make good food. Otherwise, you give a sadhu, he'll make khichdi only day and night, 3 times a day. So Bhima was given kitchen department so that he'll make the best food for people because he also likes best food. It takes one to know one. Like that. So everyone was given departments. What was Duryodhan's department? Duryodhan's department was to collect gifts because Duryodhan loved to collect. He never loved to give. So Yudhishthira said, "Theek hai, you also become happy. You take care of gift collection." And Duryodhan was very happy collecting gifts. And what was the department that Krishna chose? Krishna chose to wash the feet of all the saintly people. Can you imagine? Krishna is at the door washing the feet of all the sadhus who would come there. So that was the mood of Lord Krishna. You find in Rukmini Viva, when Lord Rukmini ji sends this letter, you all know the story. It's a long story, but to cut it short, Rukmini sends a letter to Krishna, first love letter, and she sends it through the hand of a Brahmana. Please go and give this letter to Krishna. So this Brahmana goes to Dwarka to give this message to Krishna. So Krishna knows Rukmini's marriage with Shishupal is about to happen. There is very less time. But still Krishna, as soon as this Brahmana comes, Krishna doesn't ask him directly, show me that letter. Krishna knows the letter is there. Krishna doesn't go to that point. Krishna first gives a beautiful, nice bed for the Brahmana to take rest. Krishna gives him water to take bath. Krishna feeds him. And while the Brahmana is taking rest, Krishna takes the feet of the Brahmana on his lap and Krishna starts to massage the feet. And while massaging the feet, Krishna talks to the Brahmana. How are you? How are the things in your kingdom? What message you have got for me? This is the way. And when the Brahmana tells Krishna that, if you have decided to get married to Rukmini, do it very fast because time is very short. Tomorrow, Rukmini is going to get married. Krishna immediately sits on the chariot with Daruka and he moves. But Krishna doesn't go alone. Krishna tells the Brahmana, you also come. Krishna takes the Brahmana along with him and then goes. Krishna doesn't tell the Brahmana, you come on your own, I'm going ahead. Krishna takes the Brahmana along and goes. So this was how respectful Krishna was towards the Brahmanas. And you find in Ayodhya, when Lord Ram, was sent to the forest for 14 years, and the Lord was going the chariot of Sumantra, Lakshman and Sita Maya, they were going together. All the Ayodhya Vasis were following Lord Ram. And Lord Ram was seeing that so many Brahmanas are also walking, elderly Brahmanas. The Lord couldn't tolerate this, that the Brahmanas are walking, I am on the chariot. So the Lord gets down from his chariot and walks along with the Brahmanas. So this was the mood that the Lord had. So the point is, how eager the Lord is to serve the sadhus and saints. So if you understand this mood, we'll also be able to serve the devotees like this. So I'll stop here. If there is time, we will do Sannyas Leela. But I think, first we can open it up for some questions.
Yes, Prabhuji. Devotees, if you have any questions, please raise your hands. If no questions, you can continue, Prabhuji, for 10 to 15 minutes.
Krishna
No
Prabhuji.
question? Yeah.
Prabhuji, no question at my end. With your grace, we have seen Vaikuntha. I am grateful to you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. In this material world only we have seen and come back to this material world. Grateful, very thankful to Prabhuji. Thank you.
We should keep hearing about Vaikuntha. We'll be in Vaikuntha always. We shouldn't come back to the material.
Definitely, Mata. Definitely, Prabhuji. We have been. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you for the kind word.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Today is a very blissful day, Prabhu. Really listening about it is not listening, Prabhu. You took us to Vaikuntha and we relished the class. Hari Bol, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Okay. So I think there are no questions. I'll just speak for another 5-10 minutes more. Yesterday was Makar Sankranti, the day when Lord Chaitanya took sannyas. It's a very deep, a very long pastime. I really don't know where to start and end in 5-10 minutes. But okay. So basically it is explained that, okay, I'll come to this particular pastime. One time, Lord Ram along with Sita Maya, when they were in their 14 years of exile, they go to Navadvip. And in Navadvip, they reach an island called Modadruma Dweep. There's a question. What these 7 gates of Vaikuntha denotes? 7 gates of Vaikuntha, I have to find out. Definitely there'll be a meaning to it, but I don't know what the meaning is. But coming back to our story, so Lord Ram and Sita, when they were in their Vanvas, they come to Navadvip and they come to this island called Modadruma Dweep. So Navadvip has 9 islands, just like Vrindavan has 12 forests, Dwadasha Kanan. So Navadvip has 9 islands. So one of the island is called Modadruma Dweep. So what is the meaning of Modadruma Dweep? Moda means mother. Mother means happiness. So the island that gives happiness to everyone. And Druma means a tree. So in Treta Yuga, there was a huge banyan tree in this island. Huge banyan tree. So Sita Maiya and Lord Ram sit below the tree. So therefore this island is called Modadruma Dweep. So that time, Lord Ram smiles a little. He has a very small smile, very beautiful smile. So Sita Maiya immediately catches that smile. Speaking about eagerness, she's very eager. And she knows that every small act of the Lord, there is some deep significance behind it. So she's asking the Lord, my dear Lord, why are you smiling here? So the Lord says, in Kali Yuga, I will appear here again as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And you will come as my wife, Vishnu Priya. And Kaushalya Mata will come as Sachi Mata. And in that avatar, I will take sannyas. I will leave you and I will leave my mother and go. This way Lord Ram is telling Sita Maiya. So Sita Maiya tells the Lord, Arey, if you have to take sannyas only, why did you marry? Why you should get married to me? If you want to become sannyasi, why you are getting married and leaving your wife and going? Is this correct? So Lord Ram says, no, there is a reason behind it. So the Lord says, there are 2 ways in which devotees experience love with me. One is called Sambhoga and other is called Vipralamba. Sambhoga means union. The bliss that the devotees experience in union with the Lord, in association of the Lord. And Vipralamba means the bliss that devotees experience in separation of the Lord. And Lord Ram says, among these 2, Vipralamba is actually more intense. It is a greater kind of happiness. No devotee prays to the Lord, my dear Lord, I want to be separated from you. So Lord Ram says, to my dear devotees, I always give them my association. But those who are very, very dear to me, I give them my separation also. So that they can experience this great, intense, maddening love for me. So Lord Ram says, you will experience that, in Kali Yuga when it comes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and when I take sannyas. And Lord Ram also tells her something very interesting. Lord Ram tells Sita, in this particular avatar only as Ram, later on, I will banish you to the forest. I will send you to the forest. I will stay in Ayodhya. I will stay in the house. And I will worship a golden murti of yours. That's what Lord Ram does in Ayodhya. At some point, Sita is banished to the forest, to the ashram of Valmiki. And Lord Ram makes a golden murti of Sita and worships, is in connection with Sita. So Lord Ram tells Sita Maiya, when I come in Kali Yuga as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I will leave the house and go to the forest. In this avatar, you will go to the forest, I will be in the house. When I come as Mahaprabhu, I will go to the forest and you will remain in the house. And you will worship my deity as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now also in Navadvip, this very beautiful deity of Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu is there, with such Vishnu Priya, worshipped for almost 80 years in separation from the Lord. So in this way, the Lord tells this beautiful pastime. So this is the connection between Ram Leela and Chaitanya Leela. So I'll end with one particular shloka which comes in the Bhagavatam. It's a very beautiful shloka. This particular shloka explains all the 3 avatars. Have you all heard about Shadbhuj Roop of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Have you heard this form?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
So Shadbhuj means 6. Yeah.
Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all 3 in one.
Yeah. So 3 avatars in one. Shadbhuj. Shadbhuj means 6-armed form. You have Ashtabhuj, Chaturbhuj. Here we are seeing Chaturbhuj Roop in Vaikuntha. So Mahaprabhu showed Shadbhuj Roop, 6 arms. 2 arms of Ram holding a bow and arrow, 2 arms of Krishna holding flute, and 2 arms of Mahaprabhu holding sannyas, danda and kamandalo. It's called Shadbhuj. So Mahaprabhu showed this form to few devotees, Ramananda Rai, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, like that, few devotees. So there is one particular verse in the Bhagavatam. This is the 11th canto of Bhagavatam, 5th chapter, 34th verse. This one verse explains all these three avatars together. We will just describe this verse and then we will end for today. The verse is like this. Tektva sudushtyaja surebshita raja lakshmin dharmishta arya vachasa yad agad aranyam maya brigam dayepshitam anvadhavat vande mahapurushate charanarvindam. This is Bhagavatam 11th canto, 5th chapter, 34th verse. So the verse explains Tektva sudushtyaja surepshita raj lakshmin. Tektva means to give up. So first, so in this verse, if you see now, the last line of this verse is Vande Mahapurushate Charanarvindam. I offer my respects to this great Mahapurusha. But the verse explicitly doesn't mention who this Mahapurusha is. So the Acharyas explained that this Mahapurusha refers to Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, and to Lord Chaitanya. How we will see today. Right? So it is explained in this verse, Tektva. First we will see about Lord Ram. Tektva means to give up. Sudustyaja means that which is very difficult to give up. Lord Ram gave up that which is very difficult to give up. And what is that? Surebshita Rajya Lakshmi. Rajya Lakshmi means kingdom of Ayodhya. Lord Ram was supposed to be the king of Ayodhya. Overnight, everything got changed. Kaikai told Lord Ram, you have to go to the forest with only clothes, one set of clothes, nothing else. So this was the reality of Lord Ram. And Lord Ram gave it up. Rajya Lakshmi, Ayodhya, which was the kingdom of the entire world, capital of the entire world, which is so difficult to give up. People have difficult to give up one small post. Lord Ram just gave this up immediately without any sense of attachment. Why? Dharmishta Arya Vachasa. Arya Vachasa means elders, superiors. Because the superiors told him go. His father and mother told him go. Lord Ram just gave it. And where did he go? Yad Agad Aranyam. He went to the forest. Chitrakuta, Dandakaranya, Nasik, all these places Lord Ram visited. And what did he do in the forest? Maya Mrigam Dayepshitam Anvadavat. We all know one of the highlights of this forest Leela, Vanavas, is Lord Ram runs after that Maya Mriga, that golden deer in the Marich in the form of the golden deer. And why he was running it? Because of his love for Sita. Sita wanted the golden deer, so Lord becomes a henpecked husband. And he is running to catch this golden deer. Dayepshitam Anvadhavat. Vande Mahapurushate Charanaram. I offer my respects to this great personality, Lord Ramchandra, who is this great Mahapurusha. So this verse also refers to Lord Krishna. Tyaktva Sudushtyaja Surepshita Rajya Lakshmi. Lord Krishna also gave up Rajya Lakshmi because Lord Krishna was born in Mathura, born as the king of Mathura, in the city of Mathura. But Lord Krishna just gave it up. As soon as he was born, he left. Why? Dharmishta Arya Vachasa. If you all know Krishna Leela, as soon as Krishna was born, Devaki and Vasudeva were so fearful that Kamsa has killed the previous 6 children. He will come and kill you also. They told Krishna, you please leave and go. You leave and go. So Krishna took their words and Krishna left to the forest. Yad Agat Aranyam. Krishna went to Vrindavan, a forest, a simple village. Krishna lived 11 and a half, 12 years as a simple coward boy. No opulence, nothing. Not at all attached. And it is not that Krishna was thinking, when I will go back to Mathura, when I will enjoy facilities. Krishna was blissful in the forest. Krishna was blissful in Vrindavan. Speaking about simplicity, Krishna was very happy in Vrindavan. Lord Ram, it was not that Lord Ram was feeling that this is a curse, I'm going to the forest. Lord Ram was blissful. I don't want Ayodhya. Who wants politics and headache? I'm happy to go to the forest to be with sadhus. So Krishna went to the forest. And what did Krishna do in Vrindavan? Maya Mrigam Dayepshitam Anvadhavat. Here Maya refers to love. Maya has 2 meanings. One is illusion, which Maya Mriga there means illusory deer. Here Maya Mriga means his object of love. And who's that? Srimati Radharani. And what is Krishna doing in Vrindavan? One line. Maya Mrigam Dayepshitam Anvadhavat. Out of love for Srimati Radharani, Krishna is always following Radharani. That's what. they are also henpecked husband. Right? Wherever Radharani goes, Krishna goes. Krishna has no other plan. Krishna's only plan is to follow Srimati Radharani. So therefore, Radharani is called Madan Mohan Mohini, one who attracts Krishna. Right? So this is what Krishna was doing there in Vrindavan. Vande Mahapurushate Charanarvindam. I offer my respects to Lord Krishna, who is this great Mahapurusha. This verse also refers to Lord Chaitanya. How? Tektva Sudushtyaja Surepshita Raj Lakshmi. So on the day of Makar Sankranti, Lord Chaitanya gave up his family life. Right? And in his family life, Mahaprabhu had great opulence. He had wife who was Sakshat Lakshmi, very beautiful wife, Vishnupriya, very chaste, very loving, very beautiful wife, 16 years old. He had a mother who would love him so much, Sachi Mata. Mahaprabhu had great following. When Mahaprabhu went in his non-cooperative movement, against Chand Kazi, lakhs of people followed Mahaprabhu. That was the influence Mahaprabhu had in Navdeep. Lakhs of followers. People really loved him. Mahaprabhu was a great scholar. Most respected personality as Nimai Pandit throughout the land of India. All students from India would come to study under him. But Mahaprabhu just gave it up. He just gave it up on the day of Makar Sankranti. He took sannyas. Why? Dharmishta Arya Vachasa. So one time, the story is like this. There was one particular Brahmana who wanted to enter into Shriva Sangan to see Mahaprabhu's Kirtan. But the devotees told him, no, you are not a pure Vaishnava. There is no entry for you. So this Brahmana became very angry. So next day when he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Ganga, when Mahaprabhu had came to take bath, so this Brahmana breaks his Brahman thread and curses Mahaprabhu. Nimai Pandit, I curse you that your family life will be finished. I curse you that your material life will be finished. How many would like this curse? Very scary curse, na? Very scary curse. Right? So one time there was one rich person who came to Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj and he would trouble Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj, please give me blessing, please give me blessing. Babaji Maharaj was fed up of this guy. So Babaji Maharaj told him, I bless you that your material life will be finished. This guy ran away, never came back to Babaji Maharaj. No one wants this kind of curse. But Mahaprabhu took this as a blessing. Mahaprabhu said, good, I will get rid of my family life. Because the Brahmana's curse, it has to happen. So Mahaprabhu took that order and Yad Agat Aranyam. He just took sannyas and went into the forest, accepted the order of sannyas. And now the last line, which is most important for us as we end today's session. What did Mahaprabhu do in his sannyas lila? Why did Mahaprabhu take sannyas? Maya Mrigam Dayepshitam Anvadavat. Here Maya Mriga means all of us living entities who are running after the illusory things of this world. We are running away from God, running towards the things of this world. We are running away from the spiritual life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is running after us, who are running away from Krishna. Mahaprabhu is running to catch us, to give us Krishna Bhakti. Therefore, Mahaprabhu takes sannyas. So, of all the three avatars, the avatar of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considered to be the supreme. Parama Karuna, Pahudui Jana, Nitai Gaura Chandra, Sabha Avatara, Sara Shiromani, Kevala Ananda Kanda. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so magnanimous, for all the fallen living entities of this world who are being running away from Krishna, Mahaprabhu took sannyas. He gave up his own family. He brought suffering upon his own wife and his own mother, just so that we can get Krishna Bhakti. Vande Mahapurushate Charanarvindam. Our obeisances unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is so magnanimous. And we can show our gratitude to Mahaprabhu by accepting the gift that Mahaprabhu has come to give us, the gift of chanting of the holy names, the gift of service to Vaishnavas. If we accept this gift seriously, that means we are actually grateful to all the sacrifices that Mahaprabhu has done for all of us. So with this meditation, we will end today's session. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Excellent
Thank you
class.
so much, Prabhu.
Thank you
Prabhuji,
very much,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
So much of
Hare
nectar,
Krishna,
so much of
Prabhu.
nectar.
Thank you,
Excellent
Prabhuji.
excellent
Hare
explanation.
Krishna.
Very
Wonderful.
nice session.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Wonderful session,
Thank you so
Prabhuji.
much.
Wonderful
Hare
session.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Please
Thank you
come for
very
one more
much.
class, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
We want one more class.
Please
Come
come
more
very often,
frequently,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Whenever you all call.
You are taking us to Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you. All of you all bless me.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Dandavat
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji,
Sure.
Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you very
Dandavat
much.
Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa
Thank you,
sindhubhyavach
Prabhuji.
patitanam pavanebhyo
Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Srila
Srila
Prabhupada
Prabhupada
Jai.
ki jai.
Prabhupada ki Jai.
Achyuta Gopal Das ki jai.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. With your permission, I'll end the session for
Yes,
today.
please.
Thank you.